I remember the first time we joined the ship, we kept tracing our cabin for the whole week. So today we go, we are lost. And then we didn't even know our locations of work. We kept calling our supervisors, I'm lost, I'm here. Then my supervisor would tell me, come to aft, come to forward. I'm like, what do you mean? Welcome to Grace on Board. Hello world, welcome to my channel. It's Grace on Board. I know it's been a minute since I did a sit down video, and today it's on Sea Day. So it's Sea Day en route Stavanger, Norway. So tomorrow we're gonna be in Norway. So I'm enjoying this Europe season because it's not as chilly as I thought. So I was all prepared, but anyway, I'm loving it as we go. So we're gonna be cruising through Europe. We're gonna be cruising through Norway, Sweden, and then we'll end up in Amsterdam. So in today's topic, we're gonna learn about things you should know before joining a cruise ship, or things every person who intends to join a cruise ship, that is any new hire included, should know before joining the cruise ship. So when I joined the ship, I didn't know how it works. I was so clueless because I never worked in a ship before. So, and later on, when I stayed in the ship, I came to learn a lot of things, and I thought it was important to share to somebody who is aspiring to join the ship. And I hope this information will be helpful to you, and enjoy as you watch and as you listen. Number one of the things that you should know before you join the ship is that you need to learn how to adjust to time. Time adjustment. What do I mean when I say time adjustment? So with time adjustment, as a crew member, you sail different locations, different places every day. So you're going to find out that the port you are last cruise doesn't have the same time with the port you're going next cruise. Or rather, you don't have the same time with where you're going as your country, which is quite normal. So we always try to have the same time with the port we are headed to. Thus, every night or in some nights of the cruise, you're going to be advised to put 1 hour forward or 1 hour backward. So you need to adjust to the time. So another thing about time and adjustment is that you'll find out that the time you have at your current location of the ship is not the same time with your family back home. So you'll find out that when they're sleeping is when you're working, or when you're working is when they're sleeping. Yeah. So you're gonna get used to that kind of time adjusting, like you know when to call, when to talk to them, because you have 2 different time zones. So that is one of the things that you should consider. That you might end up waking up, and that is when they're in deep sleep. So time adjustment is number 1 of the things that you should know. So number 2 of the things that you should know on board a ship before you join would be weather adjustment. So like few cruises ago, we were cruising through the Caribbean, and of course the heat was super. So, but it was manageable, by the way. So it was a little bit hot. And then when we cruised back to Europe, the weather is not hot. The weather is chilly. So you'll find out that in some places that you're sailing, they are on summer, and the other places you're headed to, they are on winter. So you're gonna keep adjusting to the weather and to the wear that you need to wear and all that. So you're from a hot season, now you go to a cold season. So you need to adjust that and be ready for it. So another thing that I would say that you need to know, number 3 would be currency adjusting. So in different ports have different currencies. Different ports of different countries, they have different currencies. Mostly not same currency as your country. So you'll find out, like in my country, Kenya, we use Kenyan shillings. Of course, that one ends the moment I fly to go to the other country. So that one ends there. The value of my Kenyan shilling ends the moment I leave Kenya, because I'm not going to use it anywhere. So that is the same thing that happens when you sail in different parts of the world. For example, if you're sailing through the United States, you're going to be using US dollars. And as you keep sailing, you find yourself in Europe. And I came to realize that Europe is very large, and they have different currencies as well, such as pounds and euros. So we have countries in Europe that only take their euros and they do not take US dollar. And we have countries in Europe that only take pounds. They do not take either euros or US dollar. Like recently we were in Belfast in Ireland, and they could not accept euros, neither any other currency apart from the pounds. So you need to adjust with the currency as you move forward, because you'll keep moving to one country to the other. So you need to get used to adjust to their currency, and that will enable you to acquire services. However, you could use your card if you have one. All right. So the other thing, number 4, that you need to know before you join the ship would be money conversion. So before you leave home, make sure you convert some money to the currency of the destination country you are going. For example, if you're leaving home to join your ship in the United States, you will need to have some US dollars with you at least. If you're leaving home to sail to your ship to Europe, let's say Greece. Greece, they use euros. So you're going to need euros with you. Why am I saying this? Because you'll never know what happens. You never know what happens. And you just need some cash with you. And they always advise you to take some cash with you just in case of anything. You don't want to walk empty-handed. You need to at least have some cash with you for just in case. And I don't think it's much cash that you need. You could do approximately, I'm not sure, but at least just, let me not give an approximate, but just don't walk without cash in your wallet. Or you can load your card with some money, but always make sure you have some cash, all right? So moving forward, the other thing that you should know will be culture difference. The moment you join the ship, remember, we have different nationalities from all over the world. So with these different nationalities, we have different cultures. It's a diversity. So we don't have the same beliefs. We don't have the same culture. We speak the same language, English, of course, but we have other ethnical languages that we cannot understand each other when we speak. So you, as you go on as a crew member, you keep understanding everybody's culture, and you have to respect their culture, no matter who they are, no matter where they come from. You are required to do that with both humanity, with both law, and with both company policies. It's better for you to be respectful to everyone despite their background, all right? So you're going to meet a lot of people on board the ship. You're going to meet the world. Believe me, it's very interesting, all right? So be prepared for that. So the other thing that I'm going to talk about will be being away from home. So you have to be prepared, leaving your family behind, leaving your children, your sisters, your brothers, everyone that you love to come and work, if at all you have made the decision to work abroad. So it's going to be a hard time for you for the first time if you have never been away from your family. So for me, it was my first time ever separating from my mom, because I've never worked anywhere outside the country. So I was like, I really need this job. I want to do it. But sometimes as time goes by, you're going to realize that it needs sacrifice. So a lot of people have been away from their country to make ends meet. So you need to sacrifice that distance, and it's okay. What I normally say, you're separated for a moment by distance, but by blood you're connected. So we have to sacrifice. So at first you're going to have the homesickness. You're going to think of what you ate yesterday, and you probably think that is what you're going to have today. Especially with your local favorite food, and you're gonna miss your family and all that. But with time, as time goes by, you're gonna adjust to everything, and everything is gonna be okay, all right? So you don't have to worry about it, but you're gonna adjust with time, all right? So the other thing that I wanna say is that you should be ready to travel. This is the most amazing part of my job. So you should be ready to travel. Like, you sleep in this country, you wake up in another country. Isn't that amazing? So you have to be ready to explore the world. And this is everybody's dream job. Whoever wants to travel, this is their dream job. So you're going to be traveling a lot. You're going to be finding yourself in one continent after the other in a span of few months. So that is the most interesting part of my job. Like you pay to travel, duh, no? So you pay to work anyway, don't take me seriously. So you're gonna find out that you'll be traveling, moving from country to country for work, all right? So it's an amazing part of my job, like I keep saying, and I'm grateful for that, and I thank God for this opportunity. All right. So the other thing I would say before you join a ship, that you should be ready for working hours that are long. You should be ready for long working hours. So minimum working hours on board a ship should be 10 hours, all right? And if you go beyond that, should be 12 at maximum. And for you getting to 12 hours, you should inform your supervisor that you're reaching this amount of hours, and thus they should advise you on what to do, all right? And then if you have overtime, definitely you'll be paid for your overtime if you do extra what I mentioned, all right? So you're gonna be working for long hours with breaks in between, all right? So unlike in the hotel, I understand people work for 8 hours and then they have a day off and all that. So on board a ship, to mention, there's no off days. And everything I'm saying is based on my cruise line before you come shading me. Everything I'm saying is based on my cruise line, yeah? Your cruise line could have a different criteria of doing things, but everything I'm saying is per my experience. It's per my experience, all right? Yeah, so now off days on board a ship, you're gonna work every day, and you have long breaks in between, all right? So you have a break. There's a rest hour. There's a way these schedules are made. You have rest time, break time, you know. I don't make a schedule, so I wouldn't be sure, yeah? So, but that is how things are right here on board a ship, all right? So the other thing that you need to know would be for new hires, yeah? So you're a new hire and you're probably excited for this job. Yeah, as usual, you're excited, you've seen these large amounts of money and all that. It's okay, you worked for it. It's a greener pasture. So I would advise every new hire to have a saving plan. You need to have a saving plan somewhere. You need to save for what you're working for. Can you imagine going home after working for a period of 7 to 10 months and then you find out you didn't even save anything on yourself, you know? I know people have responsibilities because for me, the first few months when I joined the ship, I used my salary to pay debts that I owed people, and I'm forever grateful to God for enabling me to pay the people that I owed, because they really came through for me, you know. I was in a struggle. My joining process was a task, but I would say God was the Alpha and Omega of the whole process, and He's still the Alpha and Omega, you know. So I was able to settle all my arrears to the people that I owed. So for you who is joining the ship, please have a saving plan somewhere. Please don't just spend everything you have on board. Of course, every port is tempting, and you're gonna be tempted to go and buy everything. You know, you can choose what to do with your money, but at least you've come all the way abroad to look for money, and then you go home with nothing. It doesn't look good. I understand some of us have this thing we call allotment or something, like it's deducted, automatically goes to the family, something like that. You choose that if you want to. I don't know whether it's, I think it's mandatory for some people. So it's like that. So the other thing I want to talk about would be check your emails frequently. Is it frequently or oftenly? Check your emails every time, even if you have boarded your plane. The moment you land to the airport, check your email still. Don't stop checking your email, because hey, something, I don't know what to say, but always check your emails, yeah? New hires, don't think that you have arrived to the airport, that you have gone to the hotel, that you cannot check your email. Always check your emails for your own good. Check your emails for your own good. And I leave that there. We proceed to the next one, all right? Yes, so the next one will be you and yourself when you're on board the ship, yeah? Just be you. Don't be another person. Be you. Be prepared. Be you and yourself, all right? All right. So the next one would be when you are packing to join the ship, please do not overshop. Do not overpack. Do not struggle, you know, because in 1 month you receive your salary. And when it is port day, whatever you have run out, you can always go and refill, yeah? The cabins are small. You are leaving two people, depending with your position. There is no space. Do not overpack. I said the other time, your cabin mate will carry 3 suitcases, you will carry 2 suitcases, and then it's going to look like a luggage shop, you know. Just do not overshop. Don't tire yourself carrying stuff in the airport, because I know you overshop when you're coming and then you overshop when you're going back, you know. It's going to be too heavy on you, you know. But anyway, if you're a shopper, I've nothing against you. If you're a shopper, I've nothing against you, so long you can manage. But this is the advisory tip for anybody who is aspiring to join the ship. Don't overshop. Don't stress yourself. Check my videos. I did a video on what to pack. I did a video on what to pack when you're joining the ship. You could check that out. So don't stress yourself at all. Don't stress yourself, but it's going to be okay, all right? Don't stress at all. It's going to be okay. Shop the little basic that you need. Then the rest will come through, all right? Yeah. It's gonna be okay. So on board a ship, I would say with the busy activities, you're busy, you have finished work, maybe you want to go have one beer or not, you want to hang out with your friends. I would advise someone to try and engage with people. I understand we have introverts, but I would say try and engage with people for your own mental health. Speak to someone you trust. Speak to someone. If something is bothering you, speak to someone. There will always be a solution. And then we have counselors who can talk to you. I mean, speak to someone. Don't fall into depression. I know it's not easy. Engage. Talk to someone. Have a beer or two. Have a drink in the evening. Talk to someone. Hang out. Try and engage. That will build your mental health. So yes, and in my first contract, I never left my cabin. But as time goes by, I'm really trying to show up, because you never know what happens. Try and talk to people. Try as much as you can. Like, you don't have to be closely acquainted, but at least try a little bit. I know most people, they love their space. Like, I came here to work, I want to work and go home. But remember, this is like your second family on board the ship, because I believe these are the people you're spending most time with, because most of the people, I believe, they go home for vacation for 2 months, and then can you imagine the rest of 10 months or 7 months or 6 months you're on board a ship. So I know nothing can replace your biological family, but I would say your place of work is your second home. Try to engage to some people. You don't have to engage to everybody at the same time. You cannot please everybody, especially if you're that kind of a person who get pissed off quickly by everybody. Yeah, you know, look for a friend or two that you could at least share your minds with. All right? Understood? All right, moving forward. So the other thing, as a new hire, most people don't understand when they get on board the ship. Just be ready to get lost. Because the ship can be super big. I remember the first time we joined the ship, we kept tracing our cabin for the whole week. So today we are lost. We go to a different compartment. The next day we are lost. We go to a different compartment. We go to the wrong cabin, you know. So, and then we didn't even know our locations of work. We kept calling our supervisors, I'm lost, I'm here. Then my supervisor would tell me, come to aft, come to forward. I'm like, what do you mean? So I did these terms of used on board a ship. You could watch that video so that you can familiarize before you join the ship. I did this video, terms used on board a ship. Familiarize yourself with the terms and to be easier for you. So prepare yourself to get lost, but it's only for a short while, But I would tell you something. These ships, they have different classes, and different classes, they have different model. It doesn't mean that it's only new hires get lost. No. For example, I was in Millennium class, the other ship that I was. Now I'm in Solstice class. So with this ship, it has a different design to the one I had. So I'll definitely get lost. And maybe when I happen to go to the Edge class, I would still get lost, because I have not been that kind of class of the ship. This was a different class. So unless you have worked there, you definitely get lost. And it is okay to get lost. Don't be shy to ask around. Me, I used to ask them, where's my cabin? Then they ask me, what is my cabin number? What is your cabin number? I forgot my cabin number. And then I would just trace it. I would just try and trace it. And finally, I was used to it. I was used to it. Don't be shy to ask around. They will always help you. Anyone who is working at the gangway will always assist you. It's okay not to know, all right? And finally, last but not least, would be what's in the ship stays in the ship. Crew members, all right? You know what I mean. So whatever is on board stays on board. Yeah, so when you're on vacation, enjoy your vacation. That is your perfect time. Yeah, don't think about anything else. When you're home, only think about home and home and home only. So that is all for today. I hope I have assisted you in knowing things that you should know before you join the ship. Let me know what you think of my video in the comment section, all right? And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It's Grace on board. Until next time, ciao, ciao.